Alrighty, well, my name is Paul Yanoni. I was born and raised in Albuquerque, and just one of my favorite things to do is go hunting. Uh, as you can see, I either hunt the mule deer or the elk. Those are the two animals that we like to hunt, and I usually go with my brother and my dad. And even though I mean some people do hunt these animals just for the horns, I do actually eat the meat and all that too. So I mean, I'm not those type of hunters. So so I'm 24 years old, and I'm very close to getting my bachelor's degree in business administration. After I get my degree, I want to continue my education and work on my master's, and also find a full-time position either with the Bernalillo County or the city of Albuquerque, and work my way up to the top. So once I get a full-time position and start making some more money for myself, I do want to get married to my girlfriend. So I've been with her now for 5 years. It'll actually be 5 years on November 23rd. So it's coming up pretty soon, and I couldn't be happier. So I decided to do my second assignment on Pat's Summit. So she coached at Tennessee since 1974 and recently became one of only two collegiate uh, coaches to win over 1,000 victories. Um, she won 8 NCAA national championships, and she was admitted to the Basketball Hall of Fame the first year she was eligible, and she was the first women's basketball coach to break the um, $1 million salary ceiling. Um, so she was born in 1952. She was the fourth of five children in Clarksville, Tennessee. She spent most of her early years working with her family from sunrise to sunset on their dairy and tobacco farm. So Pat described her early days as filled with school, church, and field work. So when she was in high school, her father moved the family to another county so Pat could play for a school basketball team. So by then she could dribble circles around all the boys. So in 1974, her senior year, she severely injured her knee and was sidelined. So that same year, she became a graduate assistant basketball coach at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. So soon after this, the head coach left. This was when she was in college. Um, she was named the head coach of the Lady Vols. So in her first year coaching, the Lady Vols finished with 16 wins and 8 losses. This was followed the next year with a similar record. So it was also her father influenced her style. So after her first 2 years of coaching, Summit's team never won less than 20 games per season. So Summit believes life is a competition, and those who believe they will win usually do. She states that the winners are not born; they're made, and told her players they must always go for what they want and have no fear of failure. So she said she had many goals for her team. So each day they held uh, she held her team accountable, with rewards for achieving the goals and punishments for not achieving. So one example is decreasing the numbers of turnovers during practice scrimmage, which was often against male players. So if this goal was met, they ended the practice with an easy shooting drill. If the goal was not, they ran sprints. So there was many things that she did to influence her players to do the right thing and work hard. So she usually would schedule top 25 teams just because um, she felt that the pressure of these games prepared her team better for the NCAA tournament competition, which in return she's right because she these are the teams that she's going to end up having to play eventually anyways to win that national championship. So earlier in the year, she would ask her players like what style of play they wanted to use during the season. So they nearly always said that they wanted to run press. They wanted to run, press, play hard, fast, and play smart. So when later on in the year, when they were all gasping for air after running sprint, she reminded them of their decision. So she got a lot of the players' opinions on what they wanted to do, and she ran her practices according to that. So she had um, a large rival with Connecticut, which I mean, still to this day, they're a powerhouse. Um, so when they lost to Connecticut in the final game of the NCAA tournament in '95, Summit studied the triple post offense UConn used to defeat her team. So she then, after that, took her staff to Chicago and met with the coaches of the Chicago Bulls who used that offense at the professional level. So they learned the Bulls strategy and implemented portions of this offense in their team's play the next year, resulting in 3 consecutive NCAA national championships. So another coach um, that is extremely similar to her is Coach K, and um, he is one of my most favorite coaches of all time. So he's the head coach of um, at Duke University, which is my favorite team, and it has been since I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. So right now he holds the title of most wins in college basketball with over 1,000 wins. So Duke men's basketball has been, uh, like I said, my team since I was close to about 9 years old, and he has coached many great players who have played or are playing in the NBA right now. So he has won 5 national titles with Duke, 12 regional championships, which is the Final Four, 13 ACC tournament titles, and 12 ACC regular season championships. So Coach K also coached the USA men's basketball team. So the last 2 Olympics, I think back in 2012 and then also in 2008, he won the gold medal in both of those. So the one in 2008 was in Beijing, and the most recent one was in London. So he's a someone that will be remembered after his time at Duke ends. So he's very similar to John Wooden, as is Pat Summitt, who was the head basketball coach for many years at UCLA. He will be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, of all time. So he is so grateful for uh, his mom. His mom had asked him when he won back-to-back national titles, why him? Why was he to win the win 2 national championships? So he replied to her, "Why me is you." He's and I never thought I could lose because of you. And that's exactly what he told his mom. So his mom had told him something before he started high school that he would never forget. So his mom had told him that he needed to make sure that he let good people on his bus. So he has been coaching 40 plus years, and he tells his players that he wants them on his bus. So when he looks at players and starts the recruiting process, he wants good players. When they step on campus, he wants them to act like gentlemen. You know, they come into the program as boys and leave as successful, well-disciplined men, and that is his goal. So I've never heard anything bad about him. His players are always complimenting him, and just his character alone. Just to give you an example, I mean, as you can see, those are all his rings right there. And that picture right there is last year when they won the national title against Wisconsin. So, just some takeaways is there's before I give you the takeaways, there's a picture of both him and Pat Summitt on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So just some takeaways is follow what his mom told him, because you want people in your life that have the same goals that you do. The more you're on the same page of others that have those same successful goals as you, the better off you'll be. And just take the advice of both coaches and their ways of thinking. Push yourself, and just push yourself to the limit. And don't let others bring you down just because, I mean, they're jealous or whatever. Just push yourself and do what you need to do to succeed. So those are my references, and thank you guys for listening.